the invocation for today. Thank you for being here, Lynn.
Oh, thank you for inviting me. So there's so much going on in the world, even though our worlds feel very small inside our houses. So I thought it's appropriate to talk about the Dodgers today. So when we talk about both with the pandemic and baseball, you have to, it's just too funny. You have to continue working. Nothing in life is easy, right? The Dodgers have worked since 1988 to repeat having a World Series, and they've been working and working and working, right? And it took until now for them to actually achieve their goal. And it's sort of because of what happened at the last minute where Justin Turner, it's all over the newspaper again today, poor Justin, they're skewering him like a barbecue because they announced he had COVID-19 in the 8th inning after he'd been playing the entire World Series, and they took him out. And so here the Dodgers were winning, and he was just sitting right there in a doctor's office, and he couldn't stand it, and he came out. And obviously he had been with all the other players up until the 8th inning. They've all been, you know, in a bubble together. So honestly, if he exposed them already. You know, it wasn't anything new. But meanwhile, Major League Baseball, of course, has to disavow and say he's a terrible person. I'm surprised that Platschke in the paper today is saying he's a terrible person. You know, it's about the challenges. You know, we work very hard towards our goal. And it's very hard during this time, one, for us to continue working towards our goals, and two, the disappointments, right? Here, Justin Turner had worked so hard for 7 years and reached a goal. And then what's the right thing to do? Should he have not gone out on the field? Should he have stayed back? Because, you know, even though in reality he might not have been exposing people he hadn't already been exposing, and chances are they were all exposed to the same thing. So whoever Justin got it, other people were exposed too. But should he have, you know, as I said in the paper today, set an example? So, because now, obviously, other people in the country who want to go out and celebrate will say, well, if Justin Turner can do it, I should do it. So we have a real problem today because, one, we're trying to achieve goals, but two, we have to be safe because of the pandemic. So people are being disappointed. They're not being able to go to a wedding. They're not seeing a new baby. This is a very difficult time. I'm not sure where I'm going with all of this.
You only have 1 minute.
Oh, let me know what it says. So, but it's a lot of food for thought for all of us because we all have to make these decisions every day. You know, every day, should we come in contact with somebody or not? Should we work hard to achieve our goals and then be disappointed? This is a very difficult time and there are no good answers, and we all have to make our own decisions. And I know we're all doing the best we can every day. And I don't know that I went anywhere with that, but you all know what I mean.
Actually, you did. Thank you, Lynn. Thank you, Lynn.
That was good, Lynn. Thank you.
And once again, our songmeister is going to sing a solo. I'm muting everybody, including myself, except for Ed, for the reasons, as I said last week, we have figured out that it's very difficult to sing in unison while we're all in different locations. So I'm muting us now, and then I will unmute Ed. Okay, why is this not working? Okay. Let's see, I might have to mute some of you manually. No offense, it's not that anybody has a bad voice, but you know, as I said. So Ed, if you would please sing us your song of choice for today. Ed, oh, you don't hear me because I muted myself, didn't I? No.
Okay, can everyone hear me?
Yes.
Okay, the song is You Are My Sunshine. It's brief. And I'm going to sing it in the key of E flat. The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamt I held you in my arms. But when I was here, so I hung my head and I cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Ed. And by the way, I wasn't laughing at Ed, I was laughing at Steve Day, who was doing a hilarious, I want to say mime sing-along. So please be sure, Ed, to not think that I was somehow making fun of you. I wasn't, and I appreciate you being such a good sport.
My pleasure.
Do we have any visiting Rotarians? I saw Michael Lushing. Come on.
I am here, and
Hi,
it's
there you
always
are,
a pleasure to be with you, Nancy, and your wonderful club.
Oh, thank you. Thank you for joining us. It really is a pleasure. I think you all know who Michael is at this point. Lynn, you may not. He is our new assistant governor, and he's been wonderfully supportive and very involved. And I personally am very grateful for having you with us. And we have a couple, we have our guest speakers who will be announced shortly. And I don't see
Nancy. I want to introduce the surprise guest today.
Yes, I'm going to call on you in just a second. I just wanted to make sure whether there was anyone else that I should introduce. But having said that, Mark, over to you.
Well, Rotarians, we have a surprise guest today. I kind of made it my thing to do, like I have nothing, like I have so much time, to bring on past Rotarians that you all haven't seen for a long time. So if you want to unmute yourselves, I'm going to give you a guess to see who can figure this out. This person was a past member of our Rotary Club. And what kind of a hint should I give them about, don't say gender, about this person?
Well, this person was born in another country.
Yeah, born in another country and is back here in Los Angeles, California. Who wants to take a guess at it?
Nevin.
Not Nevin, no. Nevin's right here.
I think Michael Reyes on the board, Mark.
I'm in Istanbul.
Michael Reyes.
Oh, hi, Nevin.
Hi.
No, not Michael Reyes. No.
Steve Sand.
Oh, no, not Steve Sand.
It's a woman.
Give us another hint.
Oh, who could that?
Okay, you give up. I'm gonna hang up.
Yes.
Would have taken a message.
Okay, guess who? Can you unveil yourself? Isn't this like a game show? Remember they had that game show?
There she is. Hi.
Tam Bailey.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, Tam.
Good day.
Those of you who even remember me, I'm so pleased to see all of your faces. And
welcome.
Hello, Nancy. It's nice to meet you virtually. And
It's nice to meet you. And Mark, this is a wonderful idea. I really applaud you. This is fun.
Tam, where are you?
I'm in Marina Del Rey right now, and this is where I'm living. I'm back in LA. For those of you who don't know or don't remember, I completely understand that. I was, when I first came out here to LA, I was here, I've been here doing my PhD, and a couple of years in, it just became too difficult to try and squeeze in my Rotary meetings amidst clinical practicums and residencies and things. So I have yeah, I've been keeping up to speed on as much as possible through Mark and Lynn and on what's been happening, and also Ali. But yeah, I'm just pleased to be around all of you, especially at this time of, you know, real challenge. And I heard your message and your invocation, Lynn, and I really feel it too. I think this whole, you know, sensitivity is very much, I think we all need to give one another a wide berth and forgiveness, you know, and I think that that's something, that's what I got from your theme too, is that we're all just doing the best we can. And as a now clinical psychologist, I can tell you that these things are valuable. So thanks for that too, Lynn, that good reminder.
I'm so glad you joined us.
Yeah, exactly.
And I see Stephen San on the screen. Mark, do you want to introduce Stephen?
Steve San is here as my guest, and probably the most passionate person I've ever met in my life about Westwood Village. And Steve knows our guest speaker very well and is also looking forward to hearing what he has to say, like we all are.
Great. Wonderful. Well, thank you for joining us. I think this is very exciting. And we have several announcements. First of all, you all heard the good news that our club surpassed its goal of raising $4,000 to honor the memories of our beloved members, Don Nelson and Don Park, by more than 33%. And at a time when there is so much competition for people's attention and support between the fires and the hurricanes and such, that it truly is a testimony to this club's regard for these men. Our current fundraising total is $5,327. Another donation is about to be processed. There was a technical glitch on Saturday, so it didn't go through. I will update this total when we have a new one, but I really applaud this club with all that's going on to be so responsive. And this is the honor roll of people who contributed. And by the way, I want to thank Aaron for reaching out to Jim Collins and getting him involved in this campaign. And also want to point out that Addie McIntosh, who was Don Nelson's daughter, chose to participate. We didn't ask her for money. I copied her just so that she knew what was going on. And she said she was very excited that we were doing this on her father's and Don Park's behalf. And she just went on and made a donation. So we had great participation, and I really thank you all, and I'm really proud of you all. And I also want to give extra thanks to Diane and to Terry, who gave me tremendous guidance and support throughout this campaign up to the 11th hour on Saturday. It made a big difference. It was enormously helpful. And I, again, thank you both. And I also want to say that the experience of this campaign has showed me that this is not only a warm and friendly club, it's a club with heart. This is a generous club. And I think that you all should feel really good about who you are and how you conduct yourselves as Rotarians. So we've honored Don and Dawn. So now we'd like to celebrate them. And the board has been talking about holding a club event, a virtual event in their honor on, in this case, Tuesday, November 10th at 5:30. We just held off for a bit to get a better fix on what the family's plans had been. So we'll raise a toast using beverage of your own choice. And we'll share memories and photos of these two beloved Rotarians. Guests are welcome. More information to come in the meantime, and hope that you can all make it. And Steve, I know you wanted to say something about the District 5280 Foundation celebration that happens a week from Saturday.
Right, Nancy. It dovetails with what you just said about the generosity of our members. Timing was somewhat questionable in terms. I don't really have all the details as to why the district wanted to do the Polio Plus campaign at the same time we're out there selling raffle tickets or opportunity tickets. Be that as it may, our club really stepped up on both regards. And one thing, Nancy, I like to add about the Polio Plus is how the Gates Foundation matches 2-to-1 and Rotary matches 2-to-1. Yes. So that $5,400 really is almost like $22,000. So it's really very, very powerful. With regard to the raffle tickets, actually they refer to them as opportunity tickets. Right now, guys, last year, first of all, we did $4,170, and this year we're at $6,250, $6,250, and I think that's marvelous. Very unbelievable that the way everyone stepped up and bought raffle tickets, whatever I call them. Anyway, and the good news is that Mike Newman, the trustee of the Gandy Trust, will once again be matching that this year, as he did or will be doing for last year as well. So our 6,250 really is 12,500. So when you overlay that with the other campaign, we're talking close to $40,000. It's just amazing. Rotarians are extremely generous. Yes. And I thank everyone on behalf of the foundation as your foundation chair. I thank everyone for their generosity. Rotarians are, we give our time, our treasure, our talents, and I look forward to the day when we're all back together doing projects out in the community once again. So, let's all participate next Saturday night, the 7th. You need to register. Go online at the district website. Also, I saw today, and I think we all probably saw, the silent auction items are being posted. So go online and check those out. It should be some good items there. So I know our club donated stuff, so I think that's awesome. So
free baskets.
And the very, very good news is it's still not too late if you're interested in buying opportunity tickets. I need to get them in by next Wednesday the 4th. So there's, as I've said before, there's 2 ways to do it. One, you can do it online. There's a posting where you can hit on links and donate through Rotary International and provide me with the information, and I can get that done. Or as others have done, is just pop a check in the mail to me. Just mail me a check and I can submit that by next Wednesday. I'll print your tickets and all that, and we'll be able to increase that number from 6,250 to who knows where. So again, thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Hey, Steve.
Yeah.
For some reason, the chat's been disabled, but did you get my check?
Yes, I did, Phil. Thank you so much. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Thank you, Phil.
And Nancy?
Yeah, I know. I'm aware of that. I'm going to bring that up in just a minute.
Yeah, and I took a bunch of stuff over the office yesterday, the district office.
Yeah, I have another question, Nancy.
Yeah.
Is it too late to donate for the Polio Plus and still have them match it?
It's too late for a new match, but it's not too late to donate and have a count.
Okay.
So thank you for asking. That's a wonderful question. I'm glad you brought that up. And one of our favorite events of the year is our holiday shopping spree for the children of the Westwood Transitional Village. It will be different this year. It will be virtual. So Diana's figured out a way to make it work that will work for them. And Mark also helped out with some ideas. So basically this year, what's going to be different, it's going to happen over a period of about 10 days instead of one night. We'll volunteer to participate. Now, I said I was going to talk about the chat box. I don't know why it's been disabled, and I've been trying to make it work, because what we're going to ask you to do is, I was going to ask you to use the chat box to volunteer. So what I will do instead is send out an email asking for volunteers, and then you can respond to the email if you want to volunteer. We'll be talking about this again throughout this month, so we'll figure out the chat box and why that's suddenly not working. But then after our members volunteer, paired up with children from the center. Then on and around November 30th, there will be individual Zoom sessions for the members and the children with whom they will be paired up, at which time the children will share their holiday wish lists. Rotarians will shop for or order gifts based on the kids' wish lists, and then the gifts will be delivered or dropped off at the center in early December, and then there will be a dinner at the Westwood Transitional Village on December 10th for the children. And again, you will be hearing more from us. I just basically want to make you aware right now that it's coming, and this is essentially how it will work. And then it's my privilege, the last meeting of each month, to announce the Rotarian of the Month. And I also want to mention a new feature on our website, which is Ron has, and thank you, Ron, created a column for us where we will be listing all of the Rotarians of the month throughout this Rotary year. And it's indirectly because of Steve Day that I came up with the idea in the first place, because, and I'm going to belatedly apologize to you, you were our Rotarian of the month for September in the same meeting as our district governor visit. And I realized after the windmill went out that we didn't mention you winning the award. And I apologize for that, but it also made me think this recognition is for work that is above and beyond, contributions and service above and beyond the call of duty. And it deserves more than a one-time mention in one meeting. So I talked to Ron about whether it would be possible to create a list of our Rotarians of the month on the website, and he went and did it. And thank you for that, Ron. So this month, I would like to honor someone who clearly exemplifies the motto of service above self, and who constantly contributes to the vitality of our club and in so many ways. Diane Good, you are our Rotarian of the month. Thank you for all that you do. You were Rotarian of the year, but that was last year. You're not resting on your laurels. I can't tell you all how many times, maybe on a daily basis, Diane and I talk about so many different things. She's always volunteering. She put together 3 baskets for the silent auction, and that's just one of many things that she does, and that really is exceptional. And I really want you to know that we appreciate you a lot.
Thank you, Nancy.
Appreciate you.
Thank you.
You will be receiving a certificate in the mail, unless I happen to see you in person, and a pin. And again, thank you again for all that you do. So now, Mark, and I see that we're running behind, and I apologize. We had a lot of announcements. Mark, if you would please reintroduce Annie. Some of us got to visit with her during the social time, and I'm already prepared to go line up at her restaurant. Mark, are you there? Oh, there you are. I can see you now.
Here I am. Well, as you all know, in our Merchant Minute, we're highlighting local businesses in Westwood and Brentwood. And one of my favorites has always been Clementine's. It's on easterly, just north of Santa Monica Boulevard, but Annie will tell you all about it. We have Ann Mylar, who's really, we all refer to as Annie, who is the proprietor and owner of this fine restaurant. Wonderful place to eat, highly recommended. But I want you all to know also about Annie. Annie has been consistently for many, many years, very generous in donating food and gift certificates and so forth to the local school, the elementary schools of Westwood, particularly Fairburn in her area. So she really does meet our criteria of service above self as a Rotarian, as Rotarians. And so, Annie, it's all yours.
Thank you. Okay. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me. Is it okay if I share my screen?
Yes, you should be able to. I set it up so that more than one person can present at a time. Yes, there you go.
Is that working?
Yes.
Can you see my screen? Okay. Great. Well, so thank you for having me. I'm Annie Myler. I own Clementine oops, hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm scared. Why is it not letting me change? Oh, there we go. This is actually, we're coming up on our 20th anniversary. And we started actually November 14th, 2000. And this isn't actually 20 years ago. This is just about not even a year ago. I put this picture here just to get an idea of what it was like pre-COVID. We had tables, we had customers coming in and out freely, and things have changed a little bit, and just since the beginning of the year, obviously. This is a little different now, so we don't have our tables outside, but we like to think we're still very welcoming, and we have a nice curbside pickup setup. Anyway, we're a bakery cafe. I guess I should say a little bit more of what we are. We're a bakery cafe and catering business. If you know, we're on Ensley Avenue, which is just off Santa Monica Boulevard across from Century City Mall. And we serve, we bake all of our own pastries fresh every day, and have all kinds of stuff, which I'm just gonna run through quickly. And then also just tell you a little bit about how we've adapted during COVID, because lucky for us, I think as restaurants go, we were well situated to adapt to the needs of our new lifestyle. So we've actually, even though there is dine-in is allowed outside, we've decided to really focus on the curbside pickup just to make sure we're keeping it safe and everybody feels very comfortable. So these are some things we've done to adapt to COVID. It's great. The city gave us curbside pickup spaces right outside the front door of the restaurant, which actually was a great help to us. We're doing free local delivery, which we weren't doing before. We do that with our own staff. Our employees get tested for COVID weekly, so we feel super confident about that, and our customers do too. And then we've just done a lot of adapting with what we're doing in the restaurant as far as our offerings, because people are just living different lives. Anyway, I just wanted to show you really quick, and I'll send this to you too, because I put some links into it. Okay. But this is, we do this area in the middle is our free delivery, really any time of day. And then we're doing what we're calling comfort zone delivery. So if you're in this, and either of these zones, we have a certain window of time that we make a trip over to that area. So if you get your order in, and you will deliver it to that area during those times, and that's free too. It allows us to kind of extend our reach with the people resources we have. So that's available. We've kind of expanded our daily specials and our dinner packages, just doing more fun things, more like meals to go. And this is our chicken pot pie, which is probably one of our most popular things. Everybody needs a little comfort, extra comfort now, we find. And we do special menus for pretty much anything happening in the world. We have a special menu for. These are all hyperlinks that I put in here. This is just what's upcoming, and these are links to our website for those menus. So we have special menu for Halloween. We're doing a thing for Election Day. Of course, we have Thanksgiving, everything you need for your family. Corporate gifts, holiday gifts, and catering. Catering was a big part of our business, and that's kind of not happening at all right now. So that's challenging, but we have all these menus. We have some community partnerships, some very long standing, like Food Forward. They're an organization, again, that I've linked to here, that they're dedicated to fighting hunger. They collect both backyard fruit and now they actually glean excess produce, surplus produce from the central market. And they just passed, they've rescued 100 million pounds of produce, and they coordinate getting it to shelters. We have also direct partnership since COVID with To My Family Farms and Arnett Farms, which are two of the farms that we've always gotten produce from. And now we have produce box pickups on Fridays and fruit box pickups on Tuesday, so people can order ahead and get those things. And we love that because it's, it brings people from the community, and also I get to get my fresh box every week. This is something we're doing just coming up next week, Election Day. Buy one grilled cheese. If you vote, you get another grilled cheese for free. So get a friend to vote also. And we also have a special menu with suggestions for what to have while watching the returns. And what I wanted to say most of all that we have is people. I feel very lucky to have so many great people. Our average tenure is actually 7 years, which I think is amazing for a restaurant. And I have some employees that have been there almost the entire 20 years. So even though like now we have to wear the mask, just know we're still smiling behind them, and we'll love to see you and hope that you'll also share what you know about us with others, because we're always trying to reach people in the neighborhood to let them know we're here, because we're really a neighborhood spot kind of right in this little corner of Los Angeles. So that's it, if anybody has any questions.
Thank you. Thank you. That all looks wonderful. And looking at those cupcakes is really dangerous. But anyway, thank you for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
And I will now bring on our truly excellent program chair, Tom Barron, to introduce our speaker. And Greg, I want to apologize for you that we had a lot of announcements, so we're actually running late. And
she's very close, actually.
This lady, Valentine.
No,
over to you.
Brady.
All right, am I up, Nancy?
Yes, yes.
Okay, Greg Fischer has been involved in community affairs for a number of years. It all began in 2001 when Greg served as the Deputy Planning and Transportation to Councilman Jan Perry in District 9. As a mayoral appointee, he served on the West Side Central Governance Council for the Metro Division downtown. Greg was heavily involved in adaptive reuse ordinances work and to transform large empty office buildings with residential use over the first floor and retail, etc., receiving a certificate of appreciation from the City Council for all his efforts. In 2011, he resigned from city service to form LA 1781, an S corporation offering real estate advice and assistance to property developers with issues in various departments of the city of Los Angeles, real expert in that area. His most recent effort was a 150 child care facility for Bright Horizons, a nationally recognized child care firm addressing issues with fire planning and building and safety departments. He has served on a number of boards, including Immaculate Heart School and the North University Park Design Review Board at USC City Planning Department, and advisor to Friends of Spring Street Park. as you will see, Greg has a keen interest in history when where he holds a seat on the Los Angeles Regional Planning History Group that meets at the Huntington Library. In 2017, he dissolved his business and moved to Houston, Texas, where he is residing. He continued his love of community service by assisting medical students to obtain their medical degree at the University of Texas, Houston. Obviously, one of his prime concerns was the Westwood, and here he is today to tell us about the history of the Westwood development. Greg, sorry for the delay, but you're up now.
Thank you, Tom. Let's see here.
You're going to screen share with Nancy?
You should be able to.
Let's see.
Is it working? There you go.
Okay, I'm here, but I don't see the shot that I wanted on the screen.
I see only the today guest speaker screen yet.
Right.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. Okay, over to you.
Well, I still can't share what I'm trying to share.
There you go, Greg.
I can see your screen.
Okay, can you see the screen plus me or just one?
Well, we see them both, you and your presentation.
Okay, which we won't be going through because it's too long. This is 97 slides. I'm here to bore you with the history of Westwood, more or less, including the village. This is a shot of the Westwood Observation Tower, which used to stand at Wilshire and Beverly Glen. You could climb the stairs amidst the lightning bolts that lit up at night and look out and see all of Westwood. That's long gone, and we can do away with that. Let's see if we can get that off there. Okay. Do I still show up? Nancy?
I'm sorry?
Do I still show up?
I can still see you. I'm not seeing your presentation right now.
Do you see me?
Yes.
Good. That's a start. If we go back to this. This is a picture of the ranchos that used to be in LA. Here you have downtown, and we occupied in LA, West LA, the Rancho San Jose de Buenos Aires. That was sold off in sections, the last large section of which was, let's see here, sold to a man named Arthur Letts, which most people have not heard of. Arthur Letts had an interest in merchandising. He was the person who founded the Broadway department store down at 4th and Broadway. And then in 1895 and 1907, he started Bullock's, named for his general manager. Do I still show up?
Yes.
Good, okay. In 1919, Arthur Letts purchased 3,296 acres from Pico up into the hills and from the LA Country Club over to the Veterans Administration. And that property cost him $2 million, a fine buy at the time. Let's see here, screen sharing. This. With that, Arthur Letts turned the property over in increments to his son-in-law's firm, Harold Jans. And Jans Investments started subdividing at Pico and Westwood in 1922. So we're this month at the 98th anniversary of the founding of Westwood. It continued to move north And in 1925, the regents of the University of California came south looking for a larger space. And Arthur Letts had by this time died a couple of years earlier, in 1923. And having died, it was known to his family and to the Janus family that he was very interested in having the University of California Southern Branch move from what is today LACC on Vermont Avenue out to Westwood to his ranch. So the university property that you have today was purchased and gifted, purchased through bonds and gifted to the regents of the University of California, and the university opened in 1929. The original site for shopping in Westwood was originally, to be at Wilshire and Beverly Glen. There are streets around there, Ashton, Devon, that were streets that had alleys. And that was to be the original shopping area. Once the university committed to the space, now more or less Hillgard, Sunset, Gailey, and LeConte, the three of those streets being named for university professors at Berkeley, it was decided to pull the commercial designations off the properties at Wilshire and Beverly Glen and move them to the space between Wilshire and LeConte. So in that space, you had a four by four block area, more or less, which was designed for shopping on kind of an intimate scale, fairly small. A perfect example of this, let's see if I can get this to come up. Well, that is tiny. That is the original Bullock's Westwood at the corner of Westwood and Weyburn. The building is still there. It's part of Sur La Table today. It opened in 1931 and was expanded in 1937. This Bullock's Westwood was the third effort, built in 1951 in response to the fact that Robinson's was moving to Beverly Hills. It was not difficult to get Bullock's to commit to Westwood. It was their store number 3. Downtown was first, Wilshire was second, Westwood was third, because Arthur Letts, who had founded Bullock's, was the person who owned all the property. So it does make a difference. Let's see here. Here is a picture of Westwood Village parking. This was at Wilshire and Westwood, where today you have a very tall office building. It's sort of very, very inviting, nicely landscaped signage with parking behind it. Obviously now long gone.
Greg, I think you need to click on the individual slide for it to appear as in the main screen.
Are you seeing that?
We're seeing all the slides is a full picture.
Oh,
your folder with the PDFs in them, but not the pictures.
Don't. No, it's. Is that better?
No, it's the same.
Well, mine has gotten bigger, but that doesn't do you any good. I don't know that I can make these any bigger than we are doing right now without spending a lot of time on them. Here's a picture of the corner of Weyburn and Kinross. This particular building being the one that Mario's used to be in, for instance. This was a typical 1930s shot of the Spanish colonial revival building with retail on the first floor, offices on the second floor. Does that show up any bigger?
No.
Still
We're
small.
still seeing thumbnails.
All right. I don't know why, because I can raise the size of it here quite a bit.
Why don't you double click on it?
No, that's making it smaller. Does that do anything?
Think if you go to share screen, and it should give you options for which window to share, that might help. If like yours, if it might say share desktop 1, and if you have more than one option, pick the one that looks most like what you want.
No, it doesn't seem to have that, at least on mine.
Okay.
How about slideshow?
These are PDFs.
Yeah, I don't have a slideshow. Now I could, let's see, since you mentioned the slideshow, does that show up any better?
No.
No, all right, wait a minute. How
Would
about
it help to right click on an image and there should be a command, an open command that comes up?
all right, wait a minute.
Are you using 2 screens?
No, only one. Yeah, there's a number of options, none of which look like it's going to do us any good. Resize, maybe that'll do it. Won't do it. It's
So
great.
if you go to the Zoom window at the bottom of the Zoom window that we're all in, and the little green where it has an arrow to share screen,
right?
You click on that.
Shared area.
No, I know, but you have to. If you click on that, it'll give you options for what you're looking at.
I can get that from the top or the bottom. It doesn't seem to be doing us any good.
Greg, let me ask you a question. Are you able, at the end of your presentation, which is almost over, I guess, send each member PDFs of these pictures so we can then look at them at our leisure?
I can figure out some way of doing that, yeah.
Yeah, that would be marvelous because, you know, you have a huge repertoire of beautiful pictures, which I'd like to take a look at.
What I'll do is I'll send them to Tom and Tom can distribute them.
That's great. Thank you so much.
Not a problem.
Okay.
So I assume I must be about done, time-wise.
Well, you've got a few more minutes. I don't know if this would help, Greg, but I'm looking at your screen and up top, there's an open command. I'm wondering if you highlight an image and then click on that open command, if that will open an individual PDF file.
That's it. And this is the size you get. I assume it's not any better.
Greg, you know, when you showed the tower at the very beginning, the first slide, that showed up right. That was perfect.
Right.
Well, that was a part of a slideshow that's 97 long. You don't want to get into that one.
Well, you could skip around. You could just show us certain slides from it.
Okay. When we get into Westwood Village. So does that show up?
No.
No.
Not really. How about that?
No change.
No better. Okay. Yeah, I think we're just going to have to do it the way it's been suggested, which is just select a group of them and I'll send them to Tom.
Yeah. Can we have questions?
Greg.
Yes.
Tell us about the famous tuxedo shop in Westwood.
Oh no, that would take too long.
I wanted to hear Greg. Greg?
Yes, John.
The tuxedo shop was the brew and formal wear run by Mr. and Mrs. Jack Fischer.
Yes, it was. My father worked at Campbell's around the corner before that when it was a men's store.
Right. Can you talk about Westwood being pretty much a dry town when I first moved here in 1966?
The village was considered to be off limits for anything of liquor. The closest liquor stores were Santa Monica and Westwood. And it wasn't until the Hasty House opened at Kinross and Glendon that there was a liquor license above Wilshire.
Mm-hmm. I remember that.
You could get liquor at the Center Club at the Kirkby Center a little earlier than that, but that was basically on the borderline since that was on Wilshire.
Yeah, there were a few restaurants that had some booze hidden in the back, like Chatham, as I recall.
I don't think they hid it very well.
No, they didn't. I could always find it.
Yeah, those restaurants, basically ended up with liquor licenses once the north of Wilshire Vale had been penetrated. Chatham had an excellent bar.
It was a great place.
It was.
It was a great place.
I'm sorry, for whatever reason, this does not, I mean, you can see, but you can't see anything of any size. So let me put together a collection of these. I'll send them to Tom, and Tom can.
Wonderful.
That may help.
I would say Westwood was a great village in those days, Greg. Now it may be called a great city, but it was a great village in those days.
Yes, it was an excellent shopping district. It was part of a master plan community. It did what it was supposed to do. It's morphed over the years like everything else.
That's too bad in a way.
Well, Greg, I want to apologize again for the delay in getting to your presentation. We had more than the usual number of announcements, but I have a feeling that you could entertain us with a lot of stories about Westwood that some of us who are newer to the area have never heard before.
Yes.
I think we should have him back.
Yeah, I think so too. Those of us who love Westwood Village would like to hear the whole story.
I think we're going to practice on this screen sharing thing.
Well, we can do that. We can definitely do that. Thank you, Greg. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
Are there any more questions before we wind things up? Well, in appreciation for your time with us, Greg, we are going to make a donation to the Westwood Public Library in your name.
Oh, I appreciate that.
And I know that we would really enjoy hearing more of what you have to share. If you have a presentation with 97 slides, you have a lot to share. So, so we'll look forward to hearing more about Westwood from you.
Excellent.
And otherwise, have a great week for the rest of you. Our next virtual meeting will be next Thursday, November 5th. Thankfully, the election will be over by then.
Hope so. I wonder.
So we can be thinking about the future. And anyway, I'm not getting into politics. I don't mean to do that, but thank you again for being here. Thank you all for being here. And for the members of the Board of Managers, there will be a meeting in about 10 minutes. And I reset the link to Mike. If anyone else needs it, let me know.
So do we go out? We go out and then come back in. Is that right?
Yes, it's a different link.
I get you.
Okay. Thank you all. Have a great week. Great to meet you, Greg.
Thank you, Greg. Thanks very much.
Thank you,
Tom. Bye.
Bye-bye.